Come up onto hands and knees into our tabletop position. If this bothers your wrist, you can rest at any time, or you can come up onto your fist, so you can make a fist and be on your fist. Otherwise, spread the fingers and you're pressing into the fingertips and the knuckles, so you're taking the pressure off your wrist. Knees right under the hips. Pull the belly in, press the floor away. Inhale, arching up, take the chest forward, butt goes up. Exhale, rounding the spine, pull the belly in. If you're not to round, just come back to neutral and then push back to child's pose from here. So keep the knees together, just press the hips back to child's pose. So we're going to move with this today. Inhale, come back to tabletop, arching up, chest forward, head up. Exhale, either to neutral or to rounded spine. Pull the belly in. Press back to child's pose. Use your arms to press the hips back. Drop the head. 2 more. Inhale, come up to tabletop. Arching up. Exhale to neutral or to rounded spine. Press back to child's pose. One last time. Inhale to tabletop. Arching up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Pull the belly in. Press back to child's pose. This time you can stay in your child's pose. You can open the knees. You can bring the hands under the head. Just finding any comfortable child's pose. Staying here for a few breaths. Just breathing into your child's pose. Into the back, into the shoulders. Deep inhales, feeling all those back muscles expand as you inhale. One more breath. Good. All right, taking your time to come back up to your tabletop position. We're going to start with some hip circles. So again, hands right under the shoulders. We're going to take the left knee out to the side, back and down. So we're just circling the left knee around, making a big circle with the left knee, keeping the hands pressing into the floor. Let's do 8. So I'm counting 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to reverse the direction. So circle the knee the opposite way. Nice big circles. Rest when you need to rest. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Bring the knees back together. Other side. So take the right knee out and just circle the right knee back for 8. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change direction. So circling it the opposite way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the knees back together. And if your wrists start to bother you, you can always sit back on the heels, rotate the wrists, or sit back in child's pose if we're in tabletop too long. So just take your time, rest if you need to rest. All right, so we're going to come back to our tabletop position. Again, on the fists or hands, we're going to stretch out the left leg behind you, point the left leg, and then just lift it off the floor. So we're pointing the foot, hip is down, and we're going to stretch the right arm out, pull the belly in, and we're going to move with it today. So we're going to inhale, stretch everything out. Exhale, tap the foot and the hand down to the floor and lift. So we drop the foot to tap, hand comes down and lift. So we're lowering down and lifting. Lower the leg and the hand and lift. 4 more. Tap and up. Keep pulling the belly in. Tap, up. 2 more. Tap, up, tap, up. Good. Bring the hand back in. Let's see if we can keep that left leg out behind you. And just circle the leg. Make little circles. Pull the belly in. Press the hands down. 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle the leg the other way. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the knees back in. Let's sit back in our child's pose. Shake out anything you need to shake out. You can bring your head down to your hands. Take a few breaths before we do the other side. So if you have any kind of hip pain, these sequences are really good for the hips, strengthening all the muscles around the hips. But it's really full body when you include our arms. All right, coming up to tabletop again, let's do the other side. So back to our tabletop position. This time we're stretching out the right leg. Point the toes, hips are down, so knees pointing down. Lift the leg. It doesn't have to be high. You can just keep it to parallel. Press the floor away, pull the belly in, stretch the left arm out. So you're balancing for a second, and then we're tapping the leg and the hand down to the floor and lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. See if you can coordinate both together. And lift. This is 5. Lift. 4. Lift. 3. 2. One more time. Lift, bring the hand back down, keep the leg out there, and just circle the right leg. Circle it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring the knees back together. Let's just shake it out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Just shake the hips from side to side. And then we're going to step forward with the left foot on the outside of your hand. So bring the left foot kind of to the outside of the mat, the outside of the left hand. You can walk it slightly forward, and then just let the hips move to the floor. So we're just stretching the hips now. Now that we did some strengthening, we're going to stretch them. So the left foot is kind of on the outside of the mat. Hands can be on the floor, hips moving down. You just want to find a nice stretch somewhere in that left hip, maybe the thigh, anywhere really. And then you're going to take the right hand center, so maybe kind of under your face. Stretch the left arm out in front of you, so lengthening the spine. Reach the left arm back and just circle the wrist. So we're just stretching the arm, stretching the shoulder, circling the wrist, adding in a little wrist circle. Good. Bring that left hand back to the floor and then pull the hips back. Pull the hips back. Maybe bring the left leg a little bit more center. Fingertips to the floor. Lengthen the spine here. So straight spine, left leg straight, and you can just hinge forward from the waist, stretching the back of the leg, back of the hamstring, back of the calf, toes pointing up. So stretch the backs of the legs. And then we're going to tap that left foot. So we're going to tap the left foot down, point the toe, and flex. Point the toe down and up. So just the foot moving, pointing down, up a little bit different, point, up, 2 more, point it down, up, down, up. Good. And then bring the hand now on the inside of that left leg so you can take the leg back behind you, so it joins the other knee. Good. So right side. Step the right foot forward on the outside of the hand, slightly to the side of the mat. You can walk the hands forward, walk the foot a little bit forward, and then just let the hips move down towards the floor until you feel a nice stretch somewhere in the hip area. Everybody's different. You want to still think of lengthening the spine here though. Try not to round down too much. Lift the chest, lengthen the spine while you're stretching the hips. Then you're going to bring the left hand onto the floor, more or less underneath the shoulder. Stretch the right arm out in front of you. Bring it back behind you as if you want to reach something behind you, and circle that right hand. So just circle the right hand one direction and circle it the other way. Good. Bring it back down to the floor and take the right knee back to meet the left and just shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, we forgot the stretch. Thank you, Margaret. Okay, thank you. Pull the leg hips back. You're right. So stretch the right leg out, lengthen the spine, hinge forward from the waist. Thank you so much. Sometimes you just kind of space out here. So flex the foot, lengthen the spine, stretching the back of the leg on this side. Let's stay for a couple breaths. And then we're going to tap this foot down. So tap the right foot down and up. So point the right foot down and up. Point it down and up, down, up. Two more. Down, up, down, up. Good. Bring the hands on the inside so you can take the leg back to meet the other leg. Hands on the floor. Let's walk the hands slightly forward of the shoulders. Curl the toes. We're going to come up to our downward facing dog. So lift the knees, take the hips back. Lift the hips. You can keep the knees bent. You can pedal out the feet. You can open the feet a little bit wider than usual. Makes it a little more comfortable, or keep them parallel, your choice. Keep them hip widths apart. Just do any movement that feels good to you in your down dog. Lengthening the spine, reaching the torso towards your legs. And then bend the knees. You're going to walk your hands back to your feet today. Walk the hands back to the feet. Lift the chest, bring the hands onto your shins into a flat back. So hands onto the shins, head looking down, press into the feet, engage the quads, so pull up on the kneecaps, bring the hands to the hips, pressing down into the feet, coming up, coming up, coming up into your mountain pose. Bring the hands down by your side, and we are in Tadasana or mountain pose. So